I really had a hard time to find a job when I just arrived. Got a bike and I started doing Uber Eats, which mostly students do. That was like pretty good experience because it was like at the end of summer. I went to a lot of places near Burnaby, saw beautiful locations, landscapes. A good job to start as an international student when you don't find anything to work on.
Hi, my name is Shani. I'm the podcast host for this podcast, and I'm here with my guest, Nazmus, who is an international student from Bangladesh, currently studying at University Canada West. Hi, Nazmus. How are you?
Hi, Shani. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Awesome. All right. So, my first question is what's it like studying in a country where there's two official languages and where the climate is like super cold?
Well, thank you for inviting me here. And so I'm going to share my experiences. And I knew Canada had like two official languages, that is like English and French. But honestly, I focus mostly on improving my English because my primary mother language is Bengali. So in Vancouver, English is the like main language for daily life. So it hasn't been a challenge. And I do
Right.
see French on signs and product labels. It's like really nice to have the exposure to both languages. And but right now, my main priority is like mastering English for university and professional growth. And also, I get to, like meet new pupils from different other countries and mostly from Canada. And as they have the two official languages, I also get to know people who knows French, and I'm like willing to learn that as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, so in this podcast, we're going to talk a little bit more about your experiences here, kind of like the difference of studying here versus in Bangladesh. And yeah, and just kind of like the cost of living in Vancouver in general, because we all know that's pretty expensive. So yeah, and also like kind of like just I guess the quirks and like just kind of what it's like making friends here, I guess, and you know, and all of that. Campus culture as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So, yeah, I guess my first question would be like, what is the difference between like going to high school here and like, or sorry, what's the difference between like going to high school and going to university here? Have you found a lot of differences between studying as a university student versus a high school student? Yeah, and also like, what's it like cost wise living in Vancouver, going to school here, university, and for rent and all of that.
Well, first of all, I'd like to talk about the climate thing. I think I didn't mention it earlier before. So yeah, it was definitely a big change. In Bangladesh, winter is very mild, summer in Vancouver, and here in Vancouver, rainy season is the longest, like, and cool weather felt quite different. The first time it rained heavily, I didn't have proper waterproof shoes, and so I ended up walking around with wet socks all day. So it was a bad experience that day. But yeah, I try to now learn to wear layers and invest in a good waterproof jackets. So
Yes.
the weather here is not as extreme in other parts of Canada, so I'm just adjusting well. And what was the second part you mentioned about?
Oh yeah, like basically, what's the difference between studying in university versus high school, and also just like what kind of like does it cost to like, go to school here in Canada and Vancouver? What's the cost of living, rent, that sort of thing?
So, like, let's say the first thing that I noticed, uh, like when I came to Canada, the education and the quality of education is pretty good and better in terms of uh, academic, like the books and the courses, the professors, they have like a lot of knowledge and everything. So they're helping out a lot here. And I haven't been in any high school here, so it's quite different. as far as I can see, it's like quite different from my country as well. And yeah, it's like very multicultural. You see people from all over the world, and learning environment is more open and discussion based. And like like the students who survive here, it's more like working and as a part-time and managing their living cost, which is so expensive, along with the tuition fees. For international students, the tuition fee is around, as I'm doing masters, I know my one, so it's like around 700 to 800, sorry, 70,000 to $80,000 within the 2 years of the term. And
Oh,
yeah, it's like quite expensive, and
yeah.
also you get to know like what you're getting, and the degree and the quality of education is quite good and better than the other countries as well. So that's what I would say so far.
And like also like Canada, I mean, yeah, Canada has one like is a country that has like some of the best universities. Like, so honestly, I
Yeah,
think like you definitely made a good selection coming here because we definitely do have some of the world's
yeah,
best universities. And like, I mean,
yeah,
for me, like, yeah, I also went to school here a little bit. I went to Trinity Western, which is like a private university. And at Trinity, like
yeah,
since it was private, yeah, like I remember me just being like a BC student, it was like already
yeah,
like so much. I think it was like $25,000 a semester. So
yeah,
like I
that's
mean I
true.
couldn't even imagine what it'd be like for like an international student going to Trinity. But yeah, I remember
Yeah,
it was a lot. But the education is very good. So I think that in a sense kind of
that's
like
true.
it's expensive, but it's kind of worth it, right?
That's true.
Everything just to better your future, I think is
Yeah, it's
important
like
thing.
you're getting a lot of hands-on experiences as well, and it's like most one of the first fastest growing countries. So with economy wise, but right now it's like a little like difficult just because of the tax impose and everything. But other things are like quite better, and the weather especially, I love it.
Yeah, no, me too. So tell me, what do you think it's like to balance school and then a social life and then a part-time job? How do you balance all of that together?
First of all, I started, like doing my studies, my courses. I went to classes and everything. So I met a lot of people there, and they're like small events now and then happening every week or maybe every month. They follow a lot of occasions and events, and it's like quite, like interesting to meet new peoples out there where I'm studying. And also, while I'm doing courses, I find the diversity of the people come from different countries and all. So that makes a lot different, and it helps to know more about the world, what is happening out here. And yeah, sometimes it's really good, but the work-life balance is a little challenging. Like mostly I work in the weekends. Sometimes I do filmmaking, I go out and meet new people, and sometimes I hang out with friends where I meet different events. So yeah, sometimes it's like challenging because you don't get the time because you're also working on the weekends. So it's like a lot here and there.
For sure. And what was it like finding like a part-time job? Like, what do you think is like maybe the best job you would recommend for like an international student coming to Canada looking for a job?
Yeah, so international students, when come, they are pretty new here to get the exposure what is happening here and there, and they start looking for jobs in a way, they applying online, which I tried for a month or two, and I just got tired because it's like a lot competition online, and it's better to go for walk-in if you're looking for retail or food chain business, like doing a part-time there. So I went to a lot of places, but it's like they're not hiring yet, this and that. So I think the business thing, they also need to make money. So if they're going to hire people, if they need more people, they are going to hire on that time when they're doing the sales or they need people in certain places. So it's a little challenging for the economy right now, but yeah, I really had a hard time to find a job when I just arrived. But I also, got a bike and I started doing so Uber Eats, which mostly students do. And that was like pretty good experience because it was like at the end of summer and the beginning of the rainy weather and winter. So yeah, it was really good experience because I went to a lot of places near Burnaby, downtown in over West East Vancouver. So yeah, I hang out a little bit. I went to know, got to know a lot of places, saw beautiful locations, landscapes. That also makes me, like feel good about it. So I think that is also pretty a good job to start as an international student when you don't find anything to work on. So yeah, that
Yeah,
was my
definitely. If you have
previous
a scooter or
experience.
a bike, just like do DoorDash and Uber Eats. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely good. I've done that too before, honestly. So it is a good paying job. I definitely agree. It's because it's really easy. You can just apply and then basically in a few days you get accepted, right? So
yeah,
I think that's a very good tip for
yeah.
sure. I guess my other question, what do you think about like Canada being known as like a polite country? Like, do you agree with that? Do you think like Canadians are really polite?
First of all, when I got the exposure of meeting people, I was a little, like nervous because like people have different perspectives, people have different, like thought process or what they're thinking. So you just can't approach anyone just right away if you don't know them. So yeah, it was like I think it's a part of culture here to show respect and friendliness in everyday interactions, in store, on the streets, or maybe on the public transit. So yeah, as a international student, I noticed it like quickly. Like for example, people hold doors for you if you bump into someone. Both people usually say sorry at the same time. And in the customer service, I worked first place. I worked at City, at Robson, in as a customer service. You could say like sales consultant. In that, most workers were very, courteous and helpful. So yeah, of course, like any country, not every single person is perfect, polite, but overall, the culture encourages the kindness and respect. As a newcomer from Bangladesh, I found this very welcoming, and it makes it easier to approach strangers or ask for help without feeling uncomfortable. Yeah, that
Of
was.
course. Yeah, no, I think the people here definitely are pretty polite compared to some other places in the world. I think that in Canada, we definitely have some of the nicest people, and yeah, I think it definitely adds to
Yeah,
the
that's true.
experience when you come here as an international student. What kind of like hooks you to wanting to be
Yeah,
here, right? I know for
yeah, that's
sure.
true.
Yeah. What was it like adapting to the weather though? Like, I mean, because I know like a lot of times it's cold here. Was there anything that you did to help you adapt, or were there any challenges that you found with living a Canadian winter?
First of all, I would like to say about the climate in Bangladesh. So I'm coming from a hottest climate, so it was like a bit tough. In Bangladesh, I was used to hot, humid weather almost around the year. Suddenly moving to Vancouver, where the winters are cold and rainy, felt like a shock. But when I came, it was like the end of summer, as I mentioned before. So it was pretty good. I was loving it. I was having the best time. And after that, when it started the season, rainy season, it was like, yeah, it was in first few weeks, I didn't realize how important proper clothing is. I wore a regular jacket and sneakers on and ended up soaked and, like freezing on the rainy days. And now I know a waterproof jacket, good boots, and layered clothing are quite essential. And the shorter daylight hours in winter were challenging. In Bangladesh, it stays light till 6 to 7. Here during the December, it can be dark by 4. It made me feel sleepy and like a bit low energy, so I had to adjust my routine, going out during daylight and staying active indoors in the evenings. And the cold mornings were the hardest at first. Getting out of bed when it's chilly is a
Yeah,
struggle. But once when I learned how to heat up my room and all, so I invested in the cozy clothes and it got easier. And mentally it was like about shifting my mindset. I used to think like it's too cold to go outside. Now I think like dress right and you can enjoy the season, which is really,
Absolutely. No, I definitely thought that
yeah.
too before. Even I'm from here and I thought, oh, it's so cold and it's close. I didn't want to go outside. But I think after that, I
Yeah,
was like, okay, no, I just need to dress properly. And if I dress
yeah,
properly, then I'll be able to go outside and be
that's true.
fine. So,
And
yeah.
the snow part, Vancouver, I thought like it's gonna be snow for a week at least, but it's like it's snow. I think the last time the snowfall was for 2 days around. After that, it's starting freezing. But yeah, I think it's good weather in Vancouver rather than other provinces, I guess.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess okay, so now I want to talk about a little bit about like campus life. What's it like, the culture at your school? Do you have any clubs? Are there any fun events that they do? Any spirit weeks, stuff like that?
So when I joined University Canada West, there was like lot events here and there, and I missed few events at the beginning, but we had orientation at the first, so there was some music events and a lot of introduction about the campus. It was like a great experience so far. And the campus itself is located right in downtown, so it feels like connected to the city. You're surrounded by businesses, cafes, public transit, so it's like very urban, professional environment. And I really like the urban lifestyle a lot because I'm into making music and stuff. So yeah, I'm a lot connected with filmmaking. So the campus life like isn't as large as traditional university with big fields or dorms. It's like more compact and modern, like a corporate office meets university vibe. And that's actually nice because it feels very focused. Students are like serious about their education and career goals. And there are lots of international students. In fact, most of my classmates are from different countries like India, China, Nigeria, from Ecuador, Colombia, and a lot more. And this diversity makes the classroom, the discussions very interesting because you hear so many different perspectives and different accents. So the culture of the school is like UCW has a very career focused culture. The programs like MBA, I mean, right now are designed to prepare us for the job market. So professors are usually very practical and industry experienced, which I really like it. And also they bring real world examples in the classrooms. So there is a strong emphasis on teamwork, presentation, participation. And in Bangladesh, I was used to more lecture heavy, like classes, a lot on the head. You have to keep doing the notes and all. And here's more about interactive learning and critical thinking. And yeah, I would like to end up with a social life. Since Canada West is a smaller campus, you really got to know your classmates well. There are
Yeah.
like student clubs, networking events, and workshops going on every week. And by this, you have to be proactive in joining them. Because of the location in downtown, the Vancouver house, after class, it's like easy to hang out in the city, go to coffee, explore Vancouver, attend meetups, maybe go to the beach. Yeah, overall UCW is very professional, practical, and also the multicultural environment, which fits perfectly for someone like me, who's like coming from Bangladesh and here to build an international career and have the experience life in Canada.
That's good. And do you think that what you're learning at UCW can help you, can translate into you getting a global career? Like, can that help you? Do you think, like, if you wanted to go to a different country afterwards, would the skills that you're learning here help you get a job in a different country?
Yeah, I mean, I was working at like startup before. I also worked with a lot of startups. Like I was working with a company which has like 30 startups, so it has also a diverse culture there. So yes, definitely what I'm learning in UCW is very focused on practical skills that are relevant in the job market here. And let's say, for instance, like my MBA course, I'm learning about digital marketing, leadership, project management, and like business strategies. And also, there's a course going on for prompt engineering that is like digital transformation course. So now I'm like more into how you can use the generative AI and the tools around that. And yeah, all the skills are like high demand in Canada's economy as well. So also like the way the courses are designed with case studies, team projects, presentations, let's say industry focused assignments, that really helps me understand how business works in a Canadian context, and which is different from back home in Bangladesh. And another important thing part is about learning communication and networking skills. So in Canada, if you're getting a job isn't just about technical knowledge, and it's also about how you present yourself, how well you work in teams, and how you build relationships with people. So I believe that learning, like here will absolutely help me, or not only getting a job in Canada, but also if I ever decide to return back to my country and bring this knowledge back home. I can also do some good stuff, maybe to build a business, which I'm already working on. And also, I have planned to move to Dubai and see how's their life there and try to build a business or something. Yeah, so far, that much.
Wow, nice. That's some awesome plans. That's crazy. That sounds amazing. I mean, yeah, I definitely hope that what you're learning
Yeah,
here can definitely translate into the job market there.
yeah, that's true.
That's really good. I think, okay, so another question I have then, what do you think it's like, or how hard do you think it is to network here as an international student?
Sorry, your internet was cut off. Can you repeat again?
Oh, sorry. I said, what do you think it's like to network here as an international student? Or like, what advice could you give for networking here?
So first of all, networking events are like is a must. If you really want to meet new people and connect new people, you gotta go to those events and stuff happening around. You can find on the social medias and the pages they have. So like networking here in Canada is very important because like even more than I expected. A lot of opportunities come through these connections or just through applying online. And sometimes online presence that doesn't helps that much, but you gotta go to the outdoors. It was like at first it was a bit challenging for me because coming from Bangladesh, we don't usually always have a strong networking culture. But here, people are more to meet new people, and you just have to take the first step. So some of the things that help me are like attending the university workshops and networking events, joining the student clubs and professional groups, which is related to my industry, and also connecting with people on LinkedIn after meeting them, being casual conversations. Even small chat can lead to a future opportunity as well. So my advice for other international students could be like, don't be shy. Canadians are generally friendly and helpful, which I really like about them. And if you show genuine interest, people will respond positively to you. Also remember that the networking here is about building relationships and not for just asking for a job. Be patient, you have to be consistent, and these opportunities will come. So you have to be more patient.
Of course, I totally agree with that. Okay, I guess another fun question I'd like to ask you
Sure.
is what kind of like fun activities have you done at school? What kind of like, are there any clubs that you've joined, any sports? Like, say someone's interested in joining a sport or interested in joining a club. Are there any that you would recommend for them to take if they're going to University Canada West?
We had like some events like, competition kind of thing. It was like you have to do a quiz and like some kind of IQ test, and you get a reward. Also, there are like quite few fun activities. In UCW, you can get involved, even though like UCW is more professional and career focused school. So they do offer students to enjoy the campus life and meet new people mostly. And the student clubs like business club, marketing club, there is another one, cultural clubs, these are more for the bachelor students because they get more time. The MBA students are like quite busy, so we mostly tend to join the workshop and speaker events. Sometimes they bring, like industry professionals, which is like both fun and useful for learning. And the networking casual events where you can meet classmates and alumni. And there's like cultural celebrations, like as UCW is very international, you can, they also do celebrate festivals like Diwali, I think the Lunar New Year, and sometimes they also do Eid. So, yeah, as a Muslim, I find a lot of Muslims here in Canada West. So we, greet people when there's a Eid going on. So yeah, that was pretty much. And also about the volunteering opportunities that they're helping out at the events in the community. And outside of the UCW, because the campus is in downtown, you can also enjoy the city life easily. Lots of fun things to do nearby, like visiting the beach, the park, exploring Granville Island. I went to the Van Dusen park last week. It was pretty nice. So or just you can, hanging out with classmates at cafes and restaurants. And my advice is to get involved early. The more you join in, like the more fun and meaningful your student life will be. And also you can I also forgot to mention I saw there's a hiking, a community of students where they can go for hikes and all. I didn't go because I'm not used to hiking, So yeah, maybe I will do someday.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I'm not a big hiker either. But I know in BC, like because we live in such a nice place where there's like much nature, so many like beautiful trails, and I think I know here's like a really good place for hiking. So yeah, definitely like it's definitely something I would recommend. Yeah, if like some students are going there and they're into that, like yeah, definitely join like a hiking club. That sounds so cool. Like we definitely have some amazing trails. So I would
Yeah,
definitely also recommend for people
yeah.
to check that out.
Yeah,
All
but
right. Well,
sometimes I do
yeah.
cycling. I enjoy that. Sometimes I do cycling. I do enjoy that, moving around the downtown. So it's really nice.
Yeah, no, it's great for doing all outdoor activities, honestly. I think that that's a big reason why also a lot of people move to BC is just to like do outdoorsy nature stuff because it's really just like we live in a place where
Yeah,
we have the trees, we have the mountains, we have the ocean, we have like everything for outdoors. So
yeah,
yeah, it's definitely a privilege to have that
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like nature. I'm a nature person, so I really love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was so nice having you. And I'd love to just recap.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah, quickly, guys, University of Canada West has some amazing clubs, as we've heard from Nazmus. But obviously, for students that are doing an MBA, it's a little bit harder. But yeah, there's some amazing clubs. There's people here are polite. So, it's a great way to, you know, meet people. People are very nice, they're very open, friendly to meeting you. And yeah, and I would just like talk a little bit about so the next episode is our guest is actually coming from UVic and he actually studied philosophy and computer science. So we're going to hear a little bit more about that in the next episode. And also went to school at BCIT. So we're also going to get to hear a little bit more about the student life at BCIT and at UVic, which is also a huge nature spot. So yeah, and oh, and one last thing to conclude. Guys, if you're moving to Vancouver, yes, please do invest in good gear because it does rain a lot here and it
Yeah,
does snow sometimes. Not often, but in the winter since you get a little bit of a snow. So definitely make sure that you're wearing appropriate winter gear if you're coming to move here. But yeah, it was so nice having you and we'll
thank you
see you in
so
the
much,
next
Shani.
episode.